We have the governor of Oklahoma, who is incredibly right-wing, coming out to say that he does not agree with Trump using Texas's military to be sent into Illinois.
I feel like if Marjorie Taylor Greene has seen the writing on the wall, I really would love for Republicans to be like, this is bad.
When one domino falls, they all do.
ICE is brazenly breaking the law in a lot of states. They are kidnapping U.S. citizens regularly now. They were harassing some teenage boys in Illinois, some 15-year-olds on bikes who are U.S. citizens who were born here, attacked a woman working in a bar in Illinois in the last week. They have the authority to brutalize and take any person, and we're supposed to just put up with it. That's not a free society.
Subjects of Donald J. Trump, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene or Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitter, kind of voicing their opposition in some of the moves that he has been making. Specifically, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not shying away from blaming Republicans entirely for the shutdown of the government, which is fantastic, and I don't necessarily trust her, but I do think she may have been visited by the ghost of Christmas past, like had a moment of true reckoning for what's happening. You see it affecting them because I think it was, who's the Speaker of the House? Mike Johnson? Mm-hmm. I believe he was doing one of those shows where people can like call in and ask him questions. And this one lady is like, hey, I voted for Trump. Like, I love you guys, but I'm confused. Like, my husband's a vet, and like with the back pay or the cut being fun, like she's like, I have medically fragile kids and now there's no Medicaid, and like he's not getting paid for the military. Like, I don't know what to do now. And I'm like, yeah, because this is something that truly impacts every American citizen, whether you voted red or whether you voted blue, whether you like what he's doing or you're personally affected. Like, this has an impact on a lot of us. Mm-hmm. And not just her, you know, we have the governor of Oklahoma, who is incredibly right-wing, coming out to say that he does not agree with Trump using Texas's military to be sent into Illinois. He doesn't agree with the National Guard being deployed there. He says, and I quote, he's surprised, well, it's not much of a quote, but Oklahoma would lose their mind if Governor J.B. Pritzker in Illinois sent troops down to Oklahoma during the Biden administration. Yep. And this is the type of critical thinking I'm really like getting turned on by seeing, because I'm like, finally, some common sense, because we have so like the finger pointing and the lack of accountability and this and that, but to see Republicans kind of start to identify, oh, this is a complete overreach of power. That feels good for me to see, and it gives me like the tiniest bit of hope that we won't have to do too long in this. I just think it's good to see people calling out the administration, calling out the regime, and really standing up. And, you know, maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing it just to protect her own political future, but, you know, when one domino falls, they all do.
Protect the future of our country so that Republicans can have a political future too. Like, this is really at the point where it is like,
yeah,
he's not bad kidding for everyone.
He's not kidding about wanting to do 2028. He's not kidding about wanting to make everything that's against him illegal. Like, we've seen this.
This is all anti-American.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like your classic right versus left. Like, would love if it was that. Would love to go back to having those arguments. That's not what this is. Mm-hmm. So this is really a time for everyone
I would personally love to get back to the time of actual political parties as opposed to like fascism versus democracy. Like, I would really, really like to have like a good old conversation with a Republican and be like, hey, you're fiscally just different from me and we're both empathetic. Mm-hmm. That's good. So, fingers crossed we keep the good vibes going. Less good news though. Anyone else want to?
Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807, which empowers the president to deploy the military to specific states.
I didn't mean to laugh. I'm just laughing because this will be the first time in my life and probably the last 100-something years of American history where the Third Amendment might actually really be very valuable.
There's been like lawsuits against it, but he's...
Yeah, isn't the governor suing him, or he's being threatened by Donald Trump?
Yeah.
It's like what he tried to do to Newsom. Like, obviously we saw it doesn't work.
Chicago is fighting back against it, but basically... J.D. Vance was like, ICE agents are being, there's violent attacks against them. They're being assaulted. And
they're doing the assaulting.
Exactly. And he's like, and that means that we need to send in the military because government officials are being attacked. And that is their reasoning for why they need to do this.
We could just stop attacking communities and tearing families apart. And I think that would probably stop all this aggression that the ICE agents are suffering from.
And the thing is that he threatened this with LA didn't happen. He's threatened it with Portland. Now he's threatened it with Chicago. And it honestly, to me, feels like only a matter of time. I really hope it just continues to be empty threats. But, like, luckily, Chicago is continuing to fight back
Has
against
there
that.
ever been a president that, like, threatened cities and states in the way that this is happening right now? Or is this, like, truly something we get to see for the first time?
The last time was during Hurricane Katrina.
I believe the last time the National Guard was sent against state wishes was because they were integrating schools and the racists didn't want that. And so the federal government made the racists
with, like,
allow
Ruby
integration
Bridges.
in schools. So I do know that that was the last time National Guard in a previous presidential administration was used against a state's wishes.
And it was
Yes.
for, you know,
George
to
Bush
help the
threatened.
people.
He threatened to use it because he didn't like the way that Louisiana was responding to Hurricane Katrina. So he threatened it, but he didn't use it.
Yeah, this is pretty. And then who was it? That guy? He said plenary. The president's going to have plenary authority. Thing that
Stephen Miller said that. It's not true. He does not have plenary authority. He's making things up.
He's some glitch and like.
Well, he knew that he doesn't. He knew he shouldn't have said it. Yeah. But yeah, they're claiming a lot of rights they do not have. ICE is brazenly breaking the law in a lot of states. They are assaulting people. They are kidnapping U.S. citizens regularly now. We see, like, I've lost track of how many times I've seen stories about U.S. citizens being assaulted and kidnapped, and not just because they're protesting. Sometimes they're just out in public, and ICE wants to attack them, and they do.
I saw a video at a school pickup line.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happening. People will be like, well, they're here illegally. It's not just people that are here illegally. It's lots of legal residents who, by definition, are not here illegally. And it's lots of U.S. citizens who most certainly are not here illegally. They were harassing some teenage boys in Illinois, some 15-year-olds on bikes who are U.S. citizens who were born here, and harassing them and demanding they prove that they have right to be here. They attacked a woman working in a bar in Illinois in the last week, U.S. citizen, born here, born in Illinois. She's Latina, and they didn't believe her that she was a U.S. citizen. She's born and raised here, and this has been happening a lot. We are in the situation now where they believe they have the authority to brutalize and take any person that they feel like they can take, that they want to take, and we're supposed to just put up with it. That's not a free society.
And that is why restaurants and bars in Chicago are denying service to ICE agents. I know that this was happening in LA as well. I'm sure it's happening in Portland. Part of it is like a you to be like, stay away from our city. Like, we don't want you here. But also part of it is they're protecting their employees because people are coming in and terrorizing them. And multiple restaurant owners have been like, yeah, I have employees working here who speak Spanish, who are immigrants, but they immigrated here legally. Like, they are U.S. citizens who also happen to be Spanish speakers, who also happen to have grown up in Mexico, but they are U.S. citizens that I've hired, and I still can't guarantee that they're going to be safe if ICE comes into the restaurant. So lots of signs popping up on restaurants just being like, ICE is not welcome here. I remember in my neighborhood when they were, all over LA, when LA was going through this, like, I didn't see specifically, like, well, obviously I saw lots of, like, ICE signs and stuff, but, like, a lot of places were having security, were having, like, signs being like, you have to be, like, authorized to come on our property, like, all
they
sorts
like
of things.
They just flaunt around a vest and they're like, you're impeding on a you're wearing Skechers. Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And also there's like the rumor, which I'm pretty sure is just true, about them, half of them not even being real agents of anything. They're just bounty hunters who are collecting like $1,500 a pop for every person they turn in. Yeah. Like, it's disgusting. And I think we're doing a great job shaming and ostracizing because ICE agents are scared of being doxxed. They're not being serviced. Did you see Kristi Noem tried to walk into an animal shelter and they said, nope, you're not coming in here.
You're going to come into an animal shelter? What?
She said, you celebrated the end of your old yeller. And J.D. Vance recently was on and he was asked a very basic question about someone accepting a $50,000 bribe and he wouldn't answer it, and the host was just like, yep, you didn't answer the question, thank you for your time, and cuts him off in the middle of a sentence.
Good.
Like, this is the energy where I think I can feel it, you know what I mean? Like, Oh, we're on a very balancing tipping point, and I just feel if we just keep pushing and we keep talking, things are going to get better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope so. We have the No Kings. We're recording this on October 14th. We have the No Kings protest this weekend. Last time we had one, there was a lot of right-wing violence targeting protesters.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, like, protesting is absolutely a protected activity. You are allowed to be in the street with signs saying you don't like what the government is doing. That is 100% allowed, even if the government doesn't like it. And that's what people are doing, and that's what they're attacking people for. What they're doing is illegal, attacking the protesters. But last time this happened, right-wingers engaged in violence against protesters, and I'm very worried that that's what's going to happen again this weekend.
Same.
And I do worry that Donald will use this as a pretext to do something worse, because he will claim that it is the left that is being violent, even though, objectively speaking, the majority of the political violence in this country is being perpetrated by the right. It is
100%.
just a documented fact that that's who's doing it.
It makes me happy, though, knowing that this is on record it's projected to be the largest protest in all American history. So when you have millions of people flooding the streets, who is he going to lie to? Because you're going to have eyewitness accounts. You're going to have people that are recording. Like, so he can sit there and say, the left is this, the left is, but the majority of the country was there, and the majority of the country knows that's not true. So I'm just trying to take everything with, like, there has to be of course we know he's going to do that. Of course we know this playbook at this point. But what we don't know is how the people are going to rise up, because they are starting to.
He's going to lie about what's going on for
course.
sure, and his cult is going to believe him, because they do believe anything he says, no matter how far from the truth it is. Kristi Noem right now is running a little PR video in all of the airports trying to blame the Democrats for the shutdown.
It is TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience as possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government. Many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay.
Thankfully, some of the airports are refusing to air it. It is a blatant violation of the Hatch Act. None of the airports should be airing this nonsense. But, like, the criminality is so rampant with this regime and their cult that it's just like, I hope the Democrats are successful. I hope that they can wrest power back. But if I were a Democrat coming into power after this mess, where do you even begin?
Yeah.
The amount of people that need to end up in prison is like, we would have to build more prisons.
Insane. Maybe we can use Alligator Alcatraz for what it was truly intentioned for, to keep actual bad, corrupt individuals in it.
Maybe.
We'll see.
There was also an incident in the last few days where in Portland, an ambulance had gone to pick up an injured protester, and ICE was not allowing the ambulance to leave to go to the hospital. They were attacking the ambulance operators and threatening them and saying they were going to shoot them and arrest them and wouldn't let them leave with the injured person to go to the hospital. Again, like, this is just criminal behavior. There's no world where any government employee is allowed to do that.
That sounds like cartel behavior down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that sounds a lot like the shit we're trying to avoid. But as you said earlier, these people have been waiting for opportunities like this. So
it's really just like a treat others the way you want to be treated thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to terrorize people on the
I hope
street.
they reap what
It
they
sounds
sow.
like you want to be terrorized on the street.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Sounds like you're asking for it.
I mean, they're hiding their identities because on some level they know this won't last forever. And when somebody who is law-abiding is in control of the government again, there are going to be consequences for them. And they're worried that that's going to happen to them eventually. And it will happen to them eventually.
Good.
They will experience consequences. Not today, and that sucks, but I do believe that this will come to an end. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them will be going to prison.
They will reap what they sowed.
They will be sued in civil court, and they will be, going bankrupt. Their lives are going to get bad because of what they're doing.
This is one of those times I'm so incredibly grateful for, like, social media and the ability to document firsthand what you are seeing. Sure, AI adds a little bit of wrench in that, but I think, if we do get to take all these people to court, if they get to be held accountable, like, there is nothing that is going to be more effective than being like, is this you? Love it. Hope you're scared.
Speaking of people who are scared, Donald was on Air Force One with some reporters and told them that he's not going to heaven. Sorry. No kidding, Donald. We agree you're not.
I was looking into this, and apparently he said this on, like, multiple occasions. This is not the first time that he's been like, I don't think I'm going to heaven. And I just, like...
His cult supporters are like, oh, he's so humble. Of course he's going to heaven. Meanwhile, this guy is telling you, smart people don't like me. I'm not getting into heaven. Republicans are so stupid they would vote for anyone. Like, guys, the writing's all on the wall, ain't it?
Yeah. I mean, it is funny. I hope he is worried about what happens to him in the hereafter. I, as a not religious or spiritual person, don't really believe in a hereafter. So, like, I don't think he's going to heaven because I don't think there is one. But sure, if there were one, I would agree. He's not going there because he's been a very bad person.
It would be very fun if hell existed. This is, like, I don't know. I've never, been a super religious person or believed in hell because I think it's a crazy concept. But sometimes I'm like, well, it would be nice if people got eternally punished. They probably won't, but, you know.
Sometimes it's a nice thought to have. Yeah.
Anytime I find myself thinking a little too long about religion, and I'm like, Ainsley, you don't even believe in it. Like, come on. I believe in something, but I don't know what that is. And I think that's a shared thing with a lot of people. Did you have another topic?
Yes, there was one other thing that's not, and it's not that the news hasn't really been active. It's just that it's been more of the same all week, where it's just like ICE is committing crimes left, right, and center all over the place, and particularly in Illinois and Oregon. But they're just generally behaving in criminal ways, and we're continuing to document it, and they're making life miserable for all of us. But as far as things that aren't news specific, I think this came out like in August, but I had been looking to talk about it because I think it's interesting. There was a psychological study done in Spain about liberals and conservatives and how people perceive the two sides in terms of morality. And what was interesting was both self-identified conservatives and self-identified people on the left both felt that left-leaning causes are more moral and that left-leaning people are more moral. They both thought that. The conservatives thought it too. They both thought the conservatives are less moral, even including the conservatives. So I thought it was interesting because we do talk about this a lot among our team, that it's like, this isn't a difference of like policy. This is like, we don't agree on like morality.
Rights, yeah.
Like, we have a moral compass and you don't, and that's why there's no middle ground between the two of us. We can't come together and agree on things because we would need to have a baseline understanding of morality. And this just kind of further cements that like perception that I've had for a long time, that the difference is you don't have a moral compass if you agree with the stuff that's going on right now. Yeah. And then this study, like, they know they don't have a moral compass. They might say they do to us, but they know they don't.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to this rhetoric, and this is the rhetoric I've heard from like anyone that I've tried to talk to about politics that does not necessarily fall into my side, is they're like, well, my life is hard enough as it is, so I don't want to think about anyone else's. Like, I don't want to have to think, like, obviously I'm voting on behalf of me and benefit of me for my money, my this, my that. And I'm like, not only are you being lied to about what you are voting for, but that to me is the laziest way of existing. And like, I get to some degree, some people are more nonchalant than others with their care, but like to sit there and say, well, that just points it out. Like, you only care about yourself.
I don't even think they care about themselves. I think sadism is a bigger motivator for them than self-interest. Because if self-interest were the big motivator, they still would probably vote for Democrats, because Democrats tend to be more interested in doing a better job for the public than the right.
I think they've been so lied to.
Yeah, that's
though,
what I was...
and, like, I do think religion has a huge
part in it.
Unfortunately.
But they never get anything from the people they vote for. So,
but it's in their eyes, they are morally doing what their doctrine would approve of. I mean, granted, they're not even looking at context clues to look at the Bible verses. I mean, the Bible says to love one another as thyself, love each other as I've loved you, over, I think, 70, possibly much more than that. That's an old fact from my Bible church camp, so you're going to have to give me a second if those stats are off. But they have a line, like, if you look at Trump's entire cult, they're all right-wing, incredibly religious, the doctrine of God, this, that. But if you quote a Bible verse at them, they short-circuit, shut down, and start talking about borders. So I think they've just been brainwashed. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope there's still good moral compasses out there, but it sounds like from the people I've talked to, they know they're less moral, as you said, and they know that the reason is because they claim they can't care about anything else because it's too hard.
I think the motivation is hurting people they don't like more than anything else.
Some of them, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, I'm sure that is it.
The being like, again, like, oh, I just can't think about anyone else. I'm like, okay, fine. But you're still voting against your best interest, which is
But
where
they've
the
been brainwashed,
brainwashing comes in. It's just crazy.
So I don't know.
If you think your best interest is hurting people you don't like, you think your best interest is, above all things, I don't care if I lose my farm, I get to hurt immigrants, I get to hurt trans people, that's really what I care about the most, then in a way, I guess they're voting for their interests, but their interests are doing harm, not self-preservation.
I guess in their brain, they're like, oh, by these people having rights, by these people being treated well, I'm getting treated worse, which is like not the way that things
kind
work.
of that rhetoric. Like, you know how girls, we grow up and we are kind of taught once we reach a certain age, that girl is your competition, this is your enemy, and we're just literally, even if I'm not doing it, there's someone on the internet that's putting you and I against each other for no reason, and I would scalp him if I caught him. But it literally has come to this point, and I think that's the type of rhetoric that these people seem to be thriving off of, because the conversation of DEI, how you just, I should be able to get this job and this and that, and I'm like, the fact that you genuinely believe you are negatively impacted by other people having the opportunity to even just be invited to the table is so indicative of how threatened and insecure you feel. Like the takeover comments, like it's just so unbelievably not all there. Yeah. So I just think we find common ground and empathy and compassion and hopefully some morality in the next few years. And I really hope they can see that, the removal of DEI, the removal of this, the removal of that, the air traffic controllers, this, all of that, we're all okay. So maybe it was okay that other people that weren't palm colored had different positions of power. Possibly.
I don't know. I think that there's a big chunk of the country that maybe isn't paying attention and that maybe is gettable and that we can reason with, and that there is a chunk of the country that is just cruel to their core, cannot be reasoned with, cannot be won over. We should not engage with them. We should not try and reason with them. We can't.
The internet is making it a lot worse.
It's so worse.
100%.
I saw today, just while we're talking on the internet, making it worse, and dog whistles and whatnot, saying that Taylor Swift's new opalite necklace is Nazi propaganda.
So I'm going to lose my mind over this.
Someone was like, I'm a German historical, and I'm telling you, this isn't a dog whistle, it's a shout. And I was like, you guys,
it's just a pretty rock.
The other thing is that...
No, it had lightning bolts on the chain and has a star in the middle, and people are saying it's like,
because
it looks like Auschwitz or some shit.
There's a symbol that is too... They don't look like straight up lightning bolts, but they are side by side. It's a Nazi symbol. This is just single lightning bolts across it. Also, a lot of people have come forward and been like, this is not... I really think that we're going to find out that there was a huge bot farm that was purchased to attack her during this, and that is not to say I'm not a weirdo Taylor Swift fan,
but
there are plenty of things to criticize her for, but there has been wild reaches that I'm like, this feels like a bot farm. This feels, and we know that these exist. We know that there have been smear campaigns against a ton of celebrities at various occasions. That is just bots trying to sow division.
I've never seen a male artist go through this much scrutiny. I've never seen it before.
You can not like the album, great, but come. I
to
think
say she's a Nazi.
Come the on a little bit.
Have you seen that guy on TikTok? He's bald. He's a black man, and he'll stitch videos, and then he'll be like, Taylor Swift is not doing this. She wrote an entire career out of a woman's experience and is successful for it, and that's why people don't, and he'll break it down, and he single-handedly is reviving my faith in people's critical thinking, because I think the curse of today for right, left, moderate, whatever, is you see something on the internet, you see someone's point of view, you see their take, and it is now yours, and anything that is wrong with that, as we've seen in the left, it's exhausting.
And it is truly both extreme sides are falling for this in a way that is insane. When MAGA is doing it, it is upsetting. But when I see people who are super left doing it, I'm like, guys, come the on. Can we be smarter? Can we be smarter?
And the answer is no, because there is a downside to both sides. And that is the people who cannot ever find compromise or middle ground or anything like that. We'll just be for
realistic.
Real. Yeah.
Let's just think for 5 seconds and not be like, oh, I saw this all over the internet, so it must be true. There are bot farms. This is a proven thing to smear people, and whether or not, we don't have proof this is happening to Taylor Swift, but we have proof that it's happening to other people. So, truly critically think about things for once. Genuinely, Taylor Swift is pop star, and that is it at the end of the day. That is what most pop stars
She's a pop star who is
at the
getting
end
her
of
high
the
school
day.
experience in her 30s, okay? And she's happy, so just let the bitch be. It's not that hard. Speaking of not that hard, it's not that hard to buy some Boredwalk products. So I'm gonna read you guys a review we got on one for a men's shirt that's "Dystopia got you down." Try dissociating. Anonymous says, "Love this shirt. Really love wearing this shirt. Have gotten a lot of compliments and laughs. Good quality and product, and will be buying more from them in the future." And I just want to reiterate again that our products are high quality. They make people laugh. It finds camaraderie amongst the masses. And it's a really good way to demonstrate how you're feeling on the day-to-day without ever having to open your mouth.
Yes. I'm wearing our seasonal depression hoodie.
Yeah, it's
Getting to
so
be that
rainy
time of
in
year.
LA today.
Oh yeah, it's freezing cold here by LA standards, and it's gray and it's rainy and it's delicate
Soup
Angelinos.
weather!
I want
Soup
Can't do it.
Soup.
Yeah. All of us have been
I'm so
complaining
excited.
all morning. We're like, I want to go back to bed. I want
Roads.
soup.
Yeah, my cats, there's places I've got to be, but we're here. The comment I want to react to is left by this guy named James Byrne. I don't know what video this was on. And he said, "These assholes must have gone to college." And this made me absolutely giddy because for some reason, the way that men, specifically men, try to insult us is by, one, attacking our features, or two, implying that we're educated. God forbid. Where did you go to college?
I went to Northern Arizona University and then Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville.
Did
I
you
have
do
a
grad
master's
school?
degree.
Yeah, I can't talk. I did go to college, but it was for theater and also journalism and sociology. But I also graduated high school with my Associate of Arts degree.
So you went to college.
Yeah, I am.
You still have to get through your general things, you know? They make you take probably a science class.
No, I never had to take a science class after high school, and that's fine with me because, I mean, I guess sociology was kind of sciencey.
Yeah, it's a social
Sciencey
science.
based, but yeah, I think that's funny. When we said earlier, Trump likes to insult people by saying smart people don't like me. I'm like, why do they think that saying we're educated is an insult?
It's a really bizarre insult. It's like, yeah, I literally wrote like an 80-page master's thesis. So,
Yeah.
oh no, I sat down at a computer
God
and I
forbid.
did it.
I wrote
Like,
people's essays for a living in college. That was
like,
my side
I don't
hustle.
know.
Oh,
It's
being literate.
I feel like
yeah.
they're begging for another video from us about comments that we get from trolls. Insults we've received lately are that we went to college, that we're as funny as late night hosts, that we have fun with our cats. All true
And all-
statements.
all very
Guilty as
true.
charged.
love being insulted about something that I'm like, oh my god, thank you.
Yeah, people make the mistake of thinking that the way they feel about something is indicative of how we all feel. So saying that, yeah, I don't think this late night host is funny, that's okay. They've still got millions of dollars in real estate and contracts with television and people who watch them every single night. So
Yeah, I'm like-
you might not like them, but we don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these insults that we get are just so funny.
It's always the same. Men trying to insult should be an Olympic sport because it is that hard for them to think of anything creative or new. It's adorable, really. I really like when men try. So keep it up. And for our audio listeners, we're moving to my favorite part of the podcast where we play with our delve decks.
Who has been the worst influence on you from the venting deck? I am like not a person who gives into peer pressure, but it's because I'm literally immediately, I'm a yes person. I'm like, you can't peer pressure someone who will already say
That
yes
took a
to
different direction than I was
the exact
expecting.
opposite. Like, I've never had to be pressured into doing drugs. Never had to peer pressure me. It was like, here, do you want this? I was like, 1,000%. Yes, of course I do. Why wouldn't I? So anyway, I dated this woman for a period of time, and she was an alcoholic who smoked cigarettes, so I was an alcoholic who smoked cigarettes.
Oh, all right. That's a good one.
I don't know. I think I developed some unhealthy habits, maybe with like some friends from college, because you're in college, so you're drinking all the time, and that's normal. And then you get out of college, and you're like, "What do you mean we can't drink all day anymore?" No, I have a job. Gotta do that. So, I mean, I would say that's the only thing, but I'm pretty good at advocating for myself. And
This is also a hard question for me because I am more like Ansley in that I am not easily influenced. If I had to think of anybody that was not been a good influence on my life, it would probably be my mom, who I don't talk to anymore because she's not good for my mental health. But definitely growing up with her, developed a lot of habits that were not good for me that I have since abandoned as an adult. But probably wouldn't have gotten into those things had I been raised by a healthier person.
yeah. From the deep delve, what is your worst habit?
Love it. If you are a person who has a pain stim, and that can be like picking at your nails, picking at your skin, biting your nails, these little ouchies, they're basically like, it's like a thing and has like spikes on it that can't hurt you, but that like kind of add like a little bit of pain. And so I have it in my car now because the worst time that I bite my nails is when I'm driving and I don't really realize it because you just zone out. And then I get home and I'm like, wow, was she stressed? I don't know. So now I've got my little ouchie and I can just have that in my hand. And I feel like it's been doing better. I'm like, my nails aren't that impressive. They're pretty to begin with, but yeah, little ouchies. Shout out to little ouchies.
Sponsored. Not sponsored.
But
Sponsored by Boredwalk.
But I will say, I love my little ouchie.
Bad habit, probably my inner critic is very hard for me to silence at times. I'm really good at hating myself. Yeah. So that is a hard one. I do try to like reason with it when it gets active. But I think I've talked about this before, like when objective reality is going okay, it's easier to shut it up. And when there's things that are going wrong in objective reality, then it's like impossible to silence it and just like is going wild.
Yeah.
So that is one where I'm like, I shouldn't listen to it. I shouldn't engage with it, but that is a habit that I struggle with.
Is it like imposter syndrome-y or is it just more like
just
critical?
Yeah, critical. Like, oh, like you screwed this thing up and you're such an idiot. You're never going to get anything right ever again. Like that kind of like internal dialogue.
Yeah,
you know, it just
hard.
Catastrophizes and like takes it to an 11.
Indeed.
Out of like usually something like minor or maybe not like the smallest thing, but truly not as big of a deal as it is making about it. But like that part of my brain wants to like make it a big deal.
Yeah, you mean like a few weeks ago when I found out I submitted the wrong self-tape and you guys saw me have a full crash out? Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, the critic is loud. I love food. Let me just make that clear. Okay, I eat. I love food. I have a really hard time consistently eating. Like the past week, I'll realize it's like 6 p.m. and I have a headache and I'm exhausted and I feel like I'm going to pass out. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten all day. And so I try to eat, but then I can only get a few bites in because then my stomach's all f***ed up from not eating all day. And so like during the move, like literally yesterday, I had to stop and sit down and take so many deep breaths. And I was like, I need to eat, but like I don't have anything to eat. So I was just scavenging through my cupboards to find anything with sustenance. And like, it is a pain in the ass. Like my days are so different when I eat all 3 meals and I'm consistent and like I have snacks. And then on the days where the ADHD and like the go is too strong, oh, it sucks. And this week has just been so sucky.
What is the best feeling?
Okay. Why are you laughing? I didn't even say it yet.
I'm going to say that it's performing on stage.
Oh, not what I was saying. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to say when my cats cuddle in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
The other day, I like opened my laptop to start working and Jem and I hopped on the bed and she just curls up and she like flops. And I was like, oh, my heart is so warm. I was like, I'm exactly where I need to be right now.
Yeah. I think, I mean.
Yeah, but performing also.
I love
There's nothing like the high of applause.
Also, like today, I was going to have plans after work, and then I was like, oh, but there's rain, so we should probably reschedule.
Stay in and watch Coraline while I snuggle my kitties and have DoorDash soup.
I love, like, people make fun of people in LA for the way we behave with the rain, but it's because we don't get bad weather very often.
No.
And so it really does feel like a moment to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I can't do anything.
No, and I don't want to drive because I don't trust anyone else on the road.
Well, they're also slippery.
So
it's
slippery.
Not, like, we just don't get it very often.
On the freeway, there's like puddles, like massive puddles. I'm like...
Yeah. So, anyway, I also love the feeling of when it's rainy out and you're like, oh, Guess I can't do anything today. Oh no.
I have to put on a cozy sweater and stay in my fuzzy socks. Fuck.
Yeah, those are all good ones. My favorite is creative inspiration. So good. I love it so much.
Being in a flow state is a great feeling.
Yeah.
Love a flow state.
Haven't experienced one in a very long time, but I can't wait to feel her again.
We'll get there.
Yeah, just need life
Sometimes
to
you just gotta like power through them. Sometimes, frequently, doing creative work is just pulling teeth and being like, well, it has to get made. But when you get that flow state, it's nice.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, well, I guess I'm a liar. Sometimes when I'm writing, I'm like...
Yeah.
Matt and I were just talking about that last night because he's working on some new art right now for Boredwalk, and he's like, I just got to get like the junk out of my brain to get to the good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's like how writing is too.
Way of thinking about it.
I mean, writing is that way
Yeah.
too. You just have to write a lot to get to like your best writing.
I do feel like journaling, I feel like for any sort of creativity, journaling is super helpful because you can truly just get like for me, I'm very obsessed with schedules in my brain, and like I have to do this, and if I'm able to just like journal it out and write it like too many times, then and like being like, it's okay, you have time, it's okay, you can do this, and just like this trash out, then it's like, okay, now I can actually sit down and do the thing. So sometimes you got to get the garbage out.
Yeah, I like that way of thinking about it. Yeah. So if you guys want to purchase some of your own decks, as you have heard, they're popular, peer-reviewed, fun, and super successful every time you want to play with them. You can get them at boardwalk.com. If you want to vent about the current state of the world, venting deck, you guys get the vibes. We will see you guys next week. Stay safe out there, stay loud, and stay rebellious. Bye!
Bye.